must heard about virus every day, do you? But do you ever wondering what is the deadliest virus in the world? Well, in these videos we already list the 5 deadliest virus in the world. Okay, now let's get started. Rabies. Rabies is a type of virus that attacks your nerve system or neuron and your brain. This virus is usually spread by using many kinds of media, but the most common media is through a bite from infected animals, such as dog, cat, or primates. Okay, now let's talk about the symptoms. Usually, the symptom or incubation period of this virus will start to appear around a month until 3 months since you got your first bite. Usually, the symptoms of this virus are divided into several symptoms. The main symptoms are usually inflammation of brain and meninges. Then the following symptoms can include a muscle pain, mild or partial paralysis, excessive anxiety, insomnia, confusion, agitation, abnormal behavior, paranoid, terror, difficulty in swallowing, and hallucination. But sometimes the person who got infected are also afraid of water. Now, according to WHO data, in 2016, these viruses are responsible for killing more than 59,000 people around the world. That even more surprisingly is that the mortality rate of this virus can reach almost 100% without a vaccine. But don't worry, because this vaccine is already invented by Louis Pasteur since 1885. Ebola. Ebola is a virus that was first identified in 1976 in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Ebola itself is a type of virus that can cause a hemorrhagic fever in the human and other primates. The Ebola transmission itself can spread out through many kinds of media, such as a direct contact with the infected patient or from a direct contact with the stuff that have recently been used by the patient. The symptoms of this virus is usually start to appear between 2 until 21 days after the infection. The first symptoms of this virus are usually a fever, sore throat, muscle ache, and headache. This is usually followed by vomiting, diarrhea, rash, liver malfunction until kidney failure. For the virus itself, it has a very high mortality rate. It's around 25 to up to 90%. According to WHO data, since 1976 to 2016, there was more than 31,000 people who got infected by this virus and killed more than 13,000 of people around the world. Marburg. Marburg is a virus that was first identified in 1967 in Germany. Talking about the transmission, this virus can only be transmitted through an only single species of a fruit bat. The appearance of the symptom itself is quite various, but usually the symptoms will start to appear in within 2 until 21 days. The first appearance of these symptoms can occur with all of a sudden, starting with a high fever, severe headache, severe malaise, red eyes, nausea, vomiting, rash, muscle ache and pain, and others. Now, the mortality rate itself, well, is quite high. It's around 23% if the patient was in a good treatment. But if they have a bad treatment, the mortality rate can increase up to 90%. From the case that ever recorded since 1967 until now, there was about 474 cases of people who got infected with this virus, but only 91 people who can manage to recover and survive. Hanta. Hanta is a virus that was first identified in 1976 by a doctor from Korea. Hanta is a type of virus that can attack your respiratory and internal organs. This virus can be found in many rodents, such as a rat, house mice, and lemmings. Now, talking about the transmission, this virus can be transmitted through many types of media, such as saliva and bites. But most of these viruses are transmitted through inhalation of the air around the feces. Hantavirus usually can cause a chronic asymptomatic infection in its host. Some strains of the virus can also cause a potentially fatal disease to humans, such as a lungs filled with mucus or a chronic kidney failure to an internal organ bleeding. But luckily, this virus can be easily killed by several conditions, such as a thermal, detergent, organic solvent, or hypochlorite fluids. I guess that's why it's very rare to find a case from a people who got infected with this virus. Talking to the mortality rate itself, this virus have a quite high mortality rate, which is around 38%. According to the 2013 data from the Brazilian government, it was recorded that there were more than 120 people that got infected with this virus and killed more than 52 people. Dengue. Who in this world that doesn't know a dengue fever? The most common disease amongst the others. Every year there are more than 1 million cases of people that got infected with this virus. And this virus was first identified in the late of 17th century in the European continent. For the transmission itself, this virus can only be transmitted through a few species of infected female mosquitoes from the Aedes genus. Normally, the symptoms of this virus will start to appear within 3 till 14 days after the infection. The initial symptoms of this virus usually is a high fever over 39 degrees Celsius or 104 degrees Fahrenheit, and accompanied by a following symptoms such as a severe headache, pain behind the eyes, joint and muscle pain, nausea, vomiting, swollen gland, and rash. Now, talking to the mortality rate itself, well, the death rate itself of this virus is relatively low, which is only around 2.5%. But without the adequate medical treatment, the mortality rate of this virus can increase up to 20 till 50%. Well, I guess maybe that's all I can tell you today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next videos.